Hey yo, Mac here. So I've been progressing my Lightning Spear Amazon, or the Javazon as a lot of people have been calling it, and I've kind of strayed away from a lot of the other creators' builds, and I've kind of gone my own route with it. I think there's some other scaling options, and also covering some of the issues that Javazon has, which is primarily the fact that it is squishy. Now, I have caved, and I got my Roadrunner, and this is life now. It's kind of how the game is really incentivizing to play, especially when we run Volt. The row stacks Volts a lot quicker than if you do it on foot, so it's just a better option overall. Now, what I've come into realization with is that this is not a very tanky setup, just running it with no ES and just trying to stack evasion with Wind Dancer. It feels a little too susceptible to just getting one shot, and with most evasion builds, their issue again is that their life pool is too small. So how do we solve this? Well, a little solution that I cooked up with a buddy is to run Subterfuge Mask and Spectral Ward. And I had done this previously on my Deadeye Sparker. And what we do here is we find as high of an evasion body armor as possible. And we pair that with a very high ES helmet. And what this allows us to do is we just gain 2 flat evasion for every 1 ES from the helmet, as well as gaining the ES, meaning we get 1000 evasion and 500 ES from this helmet, and 2500 evasion from the body armor. If we divide that by 12, it's going to be 200 or so ES. And on top of that, we can scale it through our tree, as well as our jewels, which I think the best in slot is going to be max ES, crit bonus, and then either like magnitude of shock and mana regen, or magnitude of shock and ailments. So that's probably the setup that I'm going to be aiming for, is just min-maxing the jewels a little bit. A better weapon, as always, is a huge boon to not only offense, but also if you kill stuff faster, it's less chance for it to kill you. And I've also had to respec the tree a little bit. I didn't path over here anymore. I took out some of these points because the attack speed is starting to have diminishing returns. You don't really want to spam Lightning Spear with this build if you can help it. And yeah, taking key nodes. On top of that, no longer running Stalking Panther, which is actually kind of nice because now we just have high evasion from boots and gloves. Just by themselves, and now from the body armor. And on top of that, we can take Predatory Instinct, which is just a really nice bonus to damage. Besides that, I can't fit Wind Dancer in right now, and I don't think I will be able to, unless I find a way to get more Spirit. But instead, we've swapped it out for Ghost Dance. And what Ghost Dance does is it recovers 7% of my energy shield. 7% of my evasion's worth of energy shield. And with how much evasion we have, we're basically recovering a really good chunk of our shield. And we have 5 Ghost Shrouds that regen by themselves. So if you do happen to get knocked off of your Roa, you have a chance to at least recover some ES. Albeit, if getting knocked off your Roa is still a pretty bad thing to happen. Instead, you can also take Wind Dancer if you can fit it, and take Unbreakable, or the one that increases your stun threshold. And that can be really helpful to mitigate the stuns. But that's the kind of downside. This has to be balanced somehow. If you didn't get heavy stun, this would just be like an insta play for a lot of people. I've swapped around a lot of the damage, the sort of damages as well, and I'm just trying to scale as much infused weapon damage as possible for one element. I'm no longer running the power charges to Lightning Spear, and instead I'm just full all-inning on Frenzy charges and Frenzy charge stacking by way of Combat Frenzy and Herald of Thunder. This is still courtesy of Lazy. It's Neural Overload plus Electrocute. And this combination basically allows you to electrocute enemies very quickly, thus gaining frenzy charges for your infused weapon. This is kind of a required setup, which is why I can't fit Wind Dancer. You have to have Combat Frenzy. But at the same time, it's enough. Where it stands, the build feels tanky enough. In most T15 maps, I'm running just like, fully rare T15 maps. and I'm adding 1 area level to them as well as doing some really juiced expeditions. I click on all of the things, including can't evade monster hits, and just rolling with it, and I've been doing fine. Managed to hit 92, so I feel like, honestly, the build is pretty solid where it's at now to just farm comfortably and not have to worry as much about upgrades. I'll still probably make some small side grades, like the rings could be better. Maybe not this one, but just the rings could be better. You know, I would gamble for more sockets on these, but that's about it. It's just getting upgrades on these pieces. The weapons are so absurdly expensive right now that I don't think it's really worth going for. And evasion bases on the helmet are actually pretty expensive too. So maybe this is a new way to gear yourself for potentially less if you're able to find a high ES helmet. The liches might still be occupying that part of the market. But just wanted to make this quick update on the build. I will make a full build showcase, though I believe there's a lot less for me to say this time around, since I'm not really... It's not like Hexblast where I had a lot of tech to show. I think a lot of the tech has already been shown by other YouTubers and content creators regarding Javazon. So I'll just be showing my build and setup as well as how to make the build a little bit more balanced than what a lot of creators are playing right now. So until next time, ciao.